Oh, good morning, everyone. It is April 28th, Monday. Ready to start this week off.
Hello.
Good morning, Alex.
How goes it?
Well, we are just kicking tires and lighting the fires. Getting going this morning. How was your weekend?
Sounds like a Monday to me.
My
weekend was good, man.
I saw that you sent me of the bonfire.
Yes, sir.
Love that. Absolutely love that.
Just hashtag country life.
Yeah, exactly. And what a beautiful life that is. Well, let's see here. Let's see what we got going. We've got Red Screen King Kong is here. Good morning, Red Screen. Joy is here. Good morning, Joy. D is here. Good morning, D. TJ, good morning. Martin's WB is here. PJ Party is here. Good morning, Peggy. Hope all is. So let's see. Do we have any of the other guys keeping an eye out for him?
I got Dave coming in.
Great. Good morning, Wendy.
Adam or James yet?
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll make it. Good morning, Terry Dykus. Sherry is here from East Tennessee. Rosie, one of our subscribers, is here. Good morning, Rosie. Lee Daniel. Hey, Lee, let's bring you up if you're up for it. We'll send you an invite if you want to join this morning. That would be great. Good morning, Share Baby 29. Good morning, Jackie. The crew is getting here. I love it. So
I'm James and Adam.
Oh, okay, great. Hey, there she is.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mama Soprano. Well, good
morning, guys.
How goes it, sir?
All good. Putting some soybeans in the ground.
Good, man. That's what I like. Good morning, Lee. I'm not sure if you can hear us yet, Lee. Maybe you're just connecting.
But yeah, I am. Grand Rising.
There you are. Good morning. Good morning, traveler. All righty. So let's see. We got a lot of people piling in this morning. Great. It's good to see. I think we have James there somewhere as well. Dave, are you in this one? Oh, there you are. Okay.
No, I am. So I'll be hit or miss. So if my mic's off, I will be out filling up the planner at that point.
No big deal. Whatever you think. Lee, your camera is off. If you have that on. Montana Girl is here. Good morning, Montana. Share Baby 29. Our Jeff Coach is good morning. Our Jeff Coach. Glad you could make it. All righty. So let's start this off with the right intonation here. Alex, what have we got on stock market, crude oil, crypto? What's going on?
Let's see. S&P 500 is down 39 points. The Dow is down 98 points. The NASDAQ is down 200 points.
Ooh.
Gold is up $3,333.50.
Wow.
Today's crude oil price is steady around 2 Bitcoin, 93,000 per coin. XRP took a bit of a bump up over the weekend. Looks like it's sitting at 227.
Excellent. Oh boy, we've got travelers here. We have Jan 959. Good morning, Jan. Susie Kabaloozy is here. Where have you been, girl? We haven't seen you. It's about time you get your bottom in here. John Gwynn, good morning, John. Glad you could make it. Only the Schwaglers is here. Good morning. And oh, John, thank you for the gifts. That's really appreciated. And Only the Schwaglers, thank you for all the roses. B. Bethany is here. Good morning, B. Bethany. Oh, somebody's scratching something. Look out now. We're on it now. James, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Adam. Good morning, James. James, how are you this morning?
Good morning. Doing good. Trying to stay away from the lightning bolts.
You got a little storm going on over there?
We had an overnighter come through, probably about 3/4 of an inch of rain. Got some more for tonight.
Oh boy, buckle up.
Yep.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning. How are we doing, everybody?
We are doing well. We're just getting the thing going here. We have Tracy Fagan. One is here over in Ireland. Chris Romano is here. Good morning, Chris. So, good morning from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Super. Well, that was my Oklahoma man, by the way.
Terrible.
Oh! We have Subi Q is here from Florida. 21 is here. Mrs. Deadpool. Good morning, Mrs. Deadpool. All right. So Mama Bear's here as well. Good morning, Mama Bear. Everybody's commenting on you, Lee. They're glad to see you in here.
Yay, I love that. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not going to be able to put my camera on this morning. I don't know. TikTok's getting kind of weird with me.
About it. We'll make it through it anyway. I'm married to Bob. Good morning. I'm married to Bob. All right, Dave, let's hear what we have on farming and agriculture.
Markets are holding their own out there this morning so far. The USDA is going to be suspending imports from Mexico on cattle and bison starting April 30th because of a flesh-eating fly, and Mexico did a very good job of controlling that.
I don't know. That's kind of suspect to me.
Thank God we're putting a border wall up to keep that flesh-eating fly.
Right. Yeah. But it's kind of like putting up a screen door to keep out. I mean,
Air.
Don't most flies eat flesh?
Horse flies, deer flies.
But it's interesting. Why do we import cattle from Mexico? Let's just use our, which we know is taken care of. Makes the most sense to me.
Exactly. Well, I guess time will tell. Hey, King's Girl 1974 is here. Good morning, King's Girl. Jane, we have a military report this morning.
We do. Last week and a half, and this has taken a little while for the Navy to do it. Sad to report that we've lost 2 Navy SEALs trying to board a vessel in the Red Sea. They were heavily weighted down with equipment. Special Warfare Operator Christopher Chambers and Special Navy Special Warfare Operator First Class Navy. They were heavily weighted down with equipment. They sank off the coast of Somalia.
Oh, God help them.
The Navy's conclusion was either not disregarding concern that they were too heavily weighted down for the flotation devices that they were utilizing. I find that a very stupid statement on the Navy's part. Every naval operator, special operator, knows exactly what they're doing and what they're doing.
James, I don't know if you're phone, but it's really hard to hear you, brother.
Oh, sorry about that. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at any rate, they boarded a vessel that had guided missiles on board, and those were the missiles that they were trying to take down or shoot at our commercial ships and our naval ships.
Wow.
They were in 6 to 8 foot seas, and they were searched for 10 days and never found.
Wow.
And the other thing that's kind of big news is Putin has ordered a ceasefire commencing on May, ending the 11th, celebrating the 80th anniversary for the ending of World War II. Interesting time. Right. And, President Trump wants him to do it right now for good. But
right.
They're just not playing that game yet.
Right. Exactly. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. We have got, Augustus Meridius from Costa Mesa, California. Another Californian. I'm glad to see you again. Spirit Rider is here. Good morning, Rider. USMC Sergeant is here. Tam at the ranch is here. Good morning, Tam. And of course, Lisa Maria is here. Good morning, Lisa Maria. All right, everybody. So let's jump over into the news here. We've got this one kind of tickled me when I saw it. The New York's Attorney General's office, Hunter Biden's lawyer, to defend Letitia James against fraud accusations. What's that old saying? When you're pointing one finger out, there's 3 more pointing back at you. I'll What do you think?
I thought you were going to say birds of a feather flock together.
What do you think, Alex? What do you make of that?
I'm not surprised, right? Like they're going to send their mafia law in to defend the gangsters.
Exactly. James?
Well, I don't think any government official is going to officially charge somebody unless they have hardcore evidence, and I think they have what they need.
Yeah, you're probably right. Adam?
I don't think there's many law firms out there right now that are going to take those kinds of cases because all they're doing is asking for the kiss of death at this point with what's going on.
Right. Exactly. Dave?
Rat packs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very succinctly put.
Plain and simple.
Exactly. Lee, what do you make of that?
See their bond and their oath.
Oh, you're coming right for the throat, right out of the gate. I love it, Lee.
You said it, I thought it.
Excellent. Very good point. Jenny O is here. Jenny O. All right, so let's move over to the next bit of news. We have China. China may shift from U.S. treasuries towards crypto and gold. This is according to a Block executive. Now, Alex, you look like you might have something to say about that.
Are we?
No.
I mean, the value of the dollar is at 3 original purchasing power. You have lots of other countries that are now embarking on the crypto journey. First they defame it. Second, they sue it. 3, they try to regulate it, and then what do?
Accept it. Exactly. Absolutely right. Dave, what are your thoughts?
Hey, how much treasury bonds is buying? Are we able to find that information out? Like how much, if they do go 100% over to crypto, how much is that going to boost the crypto side of it?
And let's not forget, how many trillions of yuan have they to the Chinese economy just to keep it afloat? I mean, that's a significant. Well, they've been doing it for several years now.
Yeah, but if you look at like end of September, the beginning of October, you'll see their stock market really low, and then it shoots way high as they started feeding that money into it.
Exactly.
China hold U.S. Treasuries and securities. It looks like well, it goes up and down, but max 1.3 trillion.
Jeez, they dumped that in the market there. We're in a world of hurt. Well, the whole would be at that point. Lee, what are your thoughts on this whole China thing?
I actually don't have enough information to speak on it, but I do think that it's just a way to level the playing field.
Right.
Of course, you're going to go up and down because I think that that's just what it is. Everything's accounting. But other than that, I think a distraction, maybe it is a thing. I'm not sure. I just don't want to speak on it until I know.
Right. No, I get it. And I understand that. And there's several people in the same thing. Distraction. That was Mama Bear said that. Hey, Alex, real quick here said, can I get the name of your book?
I responded, if you click my name, there's a link in profile for everyone if you're interested.
Excellent. Hey, Mary McCrary is here. Good morning. Scratch 65, one of our subscribers is here. John Gwynn, a subscriber, said Coach JV has been preaching that for years. Yeah, he is. Coach JV is really sharp. I don't know him personally. I'd love to have him on the show. And Coach, if you see this live, you're welcome to come on. It's love to have you. Charlie's here. Christy B from Hayesville, Kansas is here. So, okay, Donna, it looks like she got that from you. So let's move over. There's a gentleman that I've followed. He's fairly new to the scene, but he's very well versed in terms of decoding and what have you. It's Real Patriot. He's on X, he's on Telegram, he's all over. We've had a little bit of correspondence back and forth, but there's so many people with the whole black pill thing. Oh, there's no arrest. Oh, there's nothing happening. Well, I think the majority, because of RICO cases, is not being readily available to the public while those are being exercised. but he came out and he made a post and he said, look at Bob Menendez was sentenced to 11 years, the former Democrat senator. George Santos was sentenced to 7 years, former Republican House rep, and 2 judges arrested in the last few days. I mean, I think we are looking at quite a lot going on. We may not have complete exposure at this point, but it sure seems to me like things are moving in the right direction. Lee, what do you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me. I just, if we can just think about what they actually need to be in that place, you know, like I mentioned earlier, it was the oaths and the bonds. You know, they have to have those things in place, and a lot of them do not. Sometimes it's a T bond that is to the United States corporation, not necessarily like to the Constitution. They're not upholding what they, I'm doing air quotes, said that they were going to do or took an oath to. So yeah, you're going to start seeing them drop little by little, and you know it's a slow drip, but if you search for this kind of stuff, you'll notice that it's all over the states. It's not just 1 or 2 states. There's a lot of people that are going to be used as examples to, you know, tighten them back up to follow what they need to follow, which is the Constitution and we the people. So don't get discouraged if you guys don't see it like in the news, but it is happening. I promise. I'm keeping up with this like, ooh.
Are you keeping up with the Lloyd Brunson case?
I know about the Brunson case, but again, not to speak on it publicly, but I do know that that's kind of, it's really big, especially with like Chevron and the Clearfield Doctrine and all that kind of stuff that had just gone down. I think everything kind of ties together, you know?
Right. The Chevron deference is a major, major move.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Completely
And
agree.
A lot of people don't know technically like what it is, like the Chevron case and that kind of thing. So a lot of the 3-letter agencies are going to be revamped, redone, and that kind of stuff. And that's good. That's because they're overextending their authority, and they don't even have, it's kind of like a subsidiary company to the main company, you know?
Well, and that brings us back to the whole United States corporation and that whole rabbit hole. So I agree with you 100%. Adam, what are your thoughts?
You know, looking at this, there's a couple of different angles you've got here. Number one, from the Bondi and the DOJ and that whole side of things, they have to make sure that it's airtight. So they're going to go through and make sure all the boxes are checked. And at the same time, you've got kind of this or education of the rest of the masses as it kind of starts to warm up and heat up in the public, in the mainstream media, I guess, if you will, or the fake news, as they start having to pick it up, and it starts to go, oh, well, this is part of actual norm. And then you start seeing in the majors that start coming in.
Well,
it's
a
major right out of the gate. It's just kind of
It's
turning up the heat a little bit more.
slow roll. You've got to bring it up
Yeah.
slowly. Alex, you keep bobbing your head. What do you think?
I'm
He's agreeing.
thunder that's rolling in right now. You know, Carolyn Levitt in the White House saying that they wouldn't rule out Supreme Court judges accountable if they're holding their own as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I've used this term, you flip the light on and the cockroaches scatter. I'm going to change that. All right. Here's what's happening. When the bar closes and the lights come on, they tell you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And I believe happening in the judicial system. You're not on board with going back to being a constitutional republic, you're out. Lost lead.
Well, and even the Supreme Court, they're not above the law. If they're not adhering to their oath, they cease to be a justice.
Right, exactly.
100%.
Hey, did we, Lee?
She
dropped out.
Oh, well, Lee, if you want to come back, request, or Alex, if you see her, you can send her another one. Charlie, John Gwynn, Share 29, Wendy, thank you all for the gifts. It's appreciated. Patrick, thank you for the gifts. Mama Bear said, please leave people to listen to in the morning. I just love listening to all of you. Thank you, Mama Bear. That's really sweet. We are best. That's for sure. Lee29, a subscriber, said also to get rid of liberal rogue judges that I think they're above the president. Well, I think that's part of what we're seeing here. We're seeing a reckoning of sorts. We've seen 2 get arrested so far. I heard this morning that there was a third this morning, and I didn't write it down, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But apparently there's a third one, and her husband, from what I
The
understand.
New Mexico judge.
Mexico.
Yeah, was it New Mexico?
In New Mexico, because they're bringing MS-13 gang members in the house behind their home.
Yep.
Their story is that, they were just helping us out with this or that or the other. And I mean, look, FAFO, folks.
Right.
And I think that the hammer's dropping. I think Lee was 100% on point, saying to be patient, that these things are going to take some time. We're 100 days in. Like,
Right.
I know.
Right.
Wait until we're 12 months in. Wait till we're 24 months in. What a difference.
It's got to be feeling like 5 years for the people on the wrong side of this.
Well, and they have got to be not sleeping very well at night, in my opinion. They're exposed. They know it. There's nothing they can do to stop it. I mean, I think that's significant.
Well, the judges, I think what we're seeing, because it's not just a handful of judges. I'm finding just in my own personal research, it's rampant. I don't know of a judge that's clean. I can't find a clean judge in my state.
Right. James, what would you want to say?
245 judges are dead right now for this very same problem.
Really?
245, that's a lot of judges.
That's a lot of judges. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, everybody on TikTok, if you would, double tap that screen that's live out. And we have some thinking to do here. Oh, hey, Jason Coons is here. Good morning, Jason.
And if you guys could keep a tally of like the judges, and the prosecutors, and everybody that's going to be knocking on the door, and see if it adds up to 30,000, and see if we can get Gitmo filled up.
So it's a project for you to keep your tabs on. Did you don't have a morning ritual or morning? I would you to keep track of the judges and that are being indicted or arrested or whatever it is. Will you take that on? Okay, great.
I'll gladly do that because I'm already hunting for myself.
Yeah, good. Excellent.
Higher than ours.
Exactly. Okay, Lee, you're back on. Did we drop you or did you drop out somehow?
No, I think TikTok.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Well, there's several people in the chat saying that they're having troubles with Doc this morning as well, so you're not alone. Okay, so Mama Bear said you missed the comment before that, Sam. Sorry, Mama Bear, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Just put it in the chat again, and maybe you guys can tell me. Sue is here, Sue, and thank you for all the gifts. We have, well, we're going to get to that in a second. John Gwynn's Trump train is just getting up to speed, is the truth. Choo, choo.
Left the station. We're in the first 100 days. It hasn't even left the station.
I remember the movie a few years ago with Will Smith, and he was kind of a superhero, but a very coarse. I can't remember the name of it now. Maybe somebody in the chat can remind me. But I remember he goes into jail, and one of the inmates confronts him, and Will Smith says, "Are you sure you want to get on this train?" And the guy leans forward and he says, "Well, that was all that had to happen, man, and that's what's happening now."
That's what it was.
Hancock, there you go, yeah. And thanks, Mark Madsen. So, it kind of reminds me of this. The left that are in the subway corridor and they see the light coming. That's not the sunrise, the C train coming, and it's called the train, in my opinion. So, let's see here. Well, let's see. Oh, Donald, thank you for the donuts. Just Nanette, thank you for the gifts, and John Gwynn. You guys are great. Thank you so much. All righty. So, let's see. Oh yeah, everybody saying Hancock in the chat. Gosh. All right. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is President Trump saying, quote, "I'm really not trolling with talk as the 51st state." Now, we talked about this multiple times. President Trump is the master troller. We know that. But he's coming out and he's saying, "I'm not trolling. I'm talking the first state." And apparently there is an election in Canada that may help decide what direction they're going to. James, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I did listen to a couple different articles this morning as people were talking, and President Trump over the weekend did say that we don't need your vehicles, Canada. There's a lot of things we don't from Canada that we can't already take care of ourselves.
Right. Dave?
No, it's crazy because a lot of the people are like, "Boy, he's losing his mind." You know, he's losing his mind. There is a true chance that at least the petroleum side of Canada comes over.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Lee, what do you think? Oh, I wonder if we lost Lee. Adam, what are your thoughts?
You know, I see him playing the game because he's balancing the budget. I mean, we've got a trade deficit that Canada's running against us every year, $200 billion to the net. Why are we spending that money? It makes no sense whatsoever. So it's a matter of we're going to wait it out with the financial purse.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Alex?
Mike's muted.
We just got to be patient.
Very true. Very true. We have our Jeff Coates sent a bunch of gifts. Thank you. Scratch. There is an election there today. Mrs. Deadpool, thank you for all the gifts. Melissa Flinner said, "Buy home Toyota, they're American made." Well, and there is a whole lot more money being brought in by auto manufacturers into the United States to avoid those tariffs. And, you know, if Canada comes to 51st state, oh my gosh, could you imagine? I mean, we are talking, here's a good question, Alex. When was the last state admitted to the Union, and which one was it? It had to be Hawaii or Alaska, right?
Alaska in 49, if I'm not, I'll tell you just a second.
Yeah, take a look and see, because I'm just kind of curious. Lee, are you on now? Well, I guess she's not there either. All right.
I feel like I'm having troubles with my microphone. As far as the Canada thing,
Yeah.
I feel like that. Do we really have others though? You know, is there actually a line? Is there actually like a thing? Is it because in my head we're supposed to be one collective. Now, obviously, if there's bad people, then yeah, we deal with them accordingly. But if not, I feel like we should be able to really do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are imaginary that were drawn up by corporate entities to decide who, kind of like in the greater scheme of things, it's kind of like fleas arguing over who owns the dog. Right.
Alaska was admitted January 3rd, 1959, and Hawaii was admitted August 21st, 1959.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Hey, Charlie, thank you for the train. That was really cool, man. I got to just say, whenever new gifts pop up, it just cracks me up. I love it. We had a dragon or something this morning. We had these airplanes that were circling around. It was like, wow, this is so cool. Thank you, everybody. It's really fun to see that. All right, so let's see. Christy B, thank you for all the gifts. Just Nanette said, "Why are you people allowing Congress to take on our dollar?" Well, again, I think we are looking at, I'm not going to get too far down this rabbit hole, but if we are in continuity of government, which I believe we are, a lot of the things that we're seeing from Congress and the Supreme Court are a variation of what we're used to seeing in the recent past. Now, I'm not going to get too far into that and not too deep into it, but look it up yourself. Look up continuity of government. Look up devolution, and you'll see Sam's not quite as crazy as you think he might be. But again, that's just my... Huh?
We know you're crazy.
Thanks a lot, Al. I always know.
You have to be a little bit crazy to be in this bunch to have the foresight to understand what's going on, though.
Exactly. And then, see, I don't look at it as, I look at it as, so 40 years ago, I was the tinfoil hat guy, right? And then that kind of evolved into conspiracy theorists. And then it's evolved into Anons, right? Well, I fit the bill for all of them. But today, more people are saying, wait a minute, maybe Sam wasn't quite as crazy as we let on back then. And I literally have gotten calls from people I've known 30 and 40 years saying, Sam, I can't believe you were talking about this 30 years ago. And that's not to toot my own horn. It's just that I have a much different perspective than people that have just woken up in the last 2, 5, 10, 15 years. So I'm encouraged, as most of I'm excited about what's going on, because there are things being talked about today that, 30 years ago, people looked at you like you had a horn cover head. So I, for one, am glad to see it. John Gwynn, thank you for all the gifts. It's appreciated. Agape Rescues Children is here. Hi, Stacy. Hope you're having a good morning. All right. So One American News Network, OANN, which has a live feed on Truth Plus, Truth Social live streaming app. They are, OANN is on there. I think Newsmax is on there as well. Well, they came out with an article saying that California is now the 4th largest economy globally, surpassing Japan. Go ahead.
Oh, my work just walked in. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, I'm talking about the Japan being the being the 4th largest economy in the world globally.
Well, okay. Here's my question that narrative, because the tech is huge in California, and while tech is very important to us, I don't think it's an apples to apples when it comes to like oil out of Texas. It's a big economy, but I think it's on purpose. My train of thought is sideways on this. So
You get it, Dave. What do you think?
Like showing its strength, what do you think they're doing, Alex, in that sense? Or showing that?
I don't know what's in my head right now.
Yeah, because it's interesting because of the population loss in California over the last, 5, 8 years. Probably I'd say through there is really heavy. So what could have been if that's the case, if that truly is the case?
Well, and another thing too, you guys.
What about the population decrease over the last 100 days?
Right. Well,
Right.
and then two is, if you look at it from a 40th view, we are taking for granted that these numbers actually exist. We believe there's 8 billion people on the planet. We believe that the United States has 330, 340 million people. How do we know those are accurate? We don't. We're really on faith that those numbers are accurate. James, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, Silicon Valley, although it seems to be pretty important, they don't put meat and potatoes on the plate. California is known for its agriculture, its agronomy, and it's a very important part. But at the same time, they're not letting trucks move it throughout the country unless it fits the narrative of EPA regulation. And there's so many restriction, it doesn't make sense.
Right. Donald 23 said it's fake news. I agree. I don't know what to believe on it. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually thinking it's more along the lines of what the tariffs are doing. We're bringing currency valuations back into alignment, so you're probably bouncing more on trying to get more to the accurate side, or at least more truer numbers in relation to one another. So, I mean, yeah, I know we talk about having a lot of tech, but yeah, you mentioned it, James. There's a lot of, the Silicon Valley was known as the breadbasket of the world for years. And Southern California is just a behemoth, as you well know, Sam. So you really got going on, though, is that balancing of things. So you bring those numbers, it does take it away from Japan.
The fact that California could $24 billion on homelessness make absolutely no credible. Exactly. They're just peeing away money out here, and that's got to stop.
Well, Josh Hawley, going back after the Pelosi Act to ban lawmakers from trading stocks, that's where your billions of dollars went, folks.
Right. Billions or trillions?
Okay, trillions.
Yeah, exactly.
Trillions, all population.
It's all zeros, right?
Streets of Compton and North Southgate, and it is packed with homeless. streets and streets of it.
Exactly.
Cisco and everywhere.
Exactly.
When I was a kid, we took a trip to San Francisco to go to the Exploratorium, and I was 12 years old. And to go back now as an adult, I mean, TikTok will give me a hard time if I explain the things that you see now. It's how do we as a society degrade to such a level? And it's not just California, not just, it's all across the country. Little bitty towns like Lawrence, Kansas, which is, 100,000 people, whatever the population is, gets out that they're sanctuary, and man, I don't understand it. I don't. And I think that if we clean up the government, DOGE is finding the money, we reallocate the money, the sovereign wealth fund, we start to create jobs and reduce fentanyl coming across the borders. I mean, he's reduced the traffic on the border in 100 days, 99.9%. That's insane.
Exactly.
That's insane. And it's a huge step in the right direction for us to start cleaning up and taking care of our felons.
Right.
There's no reason for it. There's no reason that one of the richest nations in the world should have this problem.
Right. 100% I agree. Donna Fox, thank you for the gifts. Gen X, hey, Gen X, glad you made, said, all we know for sure is that we must question everything. Couldn't agree more. Glenn is agreeing as well. Hey, thanks for the kid, buddy. Reigns 55 said California paid for homelessness and gained substantial homeless. I agree. There will be an accounting there, and I'm sure the president and the administration have much more to do with California now after he came out here. I don't think it's been made public yet. Opinion is, yeah, there's quite a bit happening there. Donna Fox, thank you for all the gifts. Hey, Richard Pacente's here. Good morning, Richard. Glad you could make it. John Gwynn said Washington State. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. The beach share. Thank you. It's appreciated. So, all right, let's do our sponsor break here. Everybody, as you know, we have a portion of the show where, and we made our halfway to our goal for the day. We have a sponsors. I have been sponsored by Mike Lindell and MyPillow since the beginning. And Mike is a good man. He is fighting for the integrity of America. So if you want to, Mike Lindell, MyPillow, this channel, and America, go to MyPillow and enter in the discount code SAM. You'll get up to 80%. They've got like over 200 products now. We also are sponsored by Neil Naturopathic. We had Dr. Neil on the show just last week. It's the only chemical-free, toxin hair care products in the market today that I'm aware of. Go to neilnaturopathic.com. During the discount code SAM20, that's SAM20, you'll get 20% off purchases. And then, of course, Dr. Peter Glidden is a stalwart in the health and wellness industry. Go to samtube.com. There's two different buttons. One that'll take you to the website where you can learn just about anything you want to know about wellness. And the second one, you can purchase his book with a discount by using the code SAM, S-A-M. And of course, we cannot forget about the importance of cybersecurity. Alex, will you tell us a little bit about RiskTool?
RiskTool Technologies is a company that's been around for almost 20 years. We specialize in compliance, and probably the keystones of our software is training. So if you own a company, you work for a company, and you are not providing or being provided cybersecurity risk management training, you are opening the doors to vulnerabilities. Number one threat to an organization is an employee. Somebody clicking on the wrong thing, somebody sending information to the wrong place. So reach out to us through the end of May. Any referrals that are given to RiskTool, we will kick back a 1 month retainer. So if the customer is spending $500 a month, that's $500. If they're spending $5,000 a month, 5,000 in your pocket. So we would welcome any referrals. risktooltech.com.
And would you put that in the chat as well, Alex? Thank you. Donna Fox, Evelyn Opp, and again, Donna Fox, thank you for all the gifts. It's appreciated. Sheila, Leaving by Faith. Boy, Sheila, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for the tiny dinies. Donna Fox and Lisa Maria. Hey, we're going to be dancing. And of course, Mrs. Deadpool is in. She's leading the charge.
Oh, no.
Not Ron Swanson is here. Good morning, not Ron Swanson. Terry Bulberry is here. Good morning. Good afternoon from Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. And we've got Jason Coons pushing the fifth. Well, I think maybe we should have to bump it up to 75K. What do you think?
No, sir.
Oh, come on now. You guys.
As well, if we can get Sam to 250,000 subscribers, he has agreed to go down and get his first ever tattoo, an American flag. We'll live stream it, and I'll buy it.
There we go. There we go. And it just could happen. You just never know. Daddy D is here. Hey, phone Daddy D. All right, so let's move over to the next story. This one I find interesting. Julian Assange attended Pope Francis's funeral. Now, most of you probably are already aware of Julian Assange, his connection to WikiLeaks, his connection to the DNC hack, and I use loosely. I mean, this is a big deal coming back in the narrative. And if so, what is this going to lead us to, Alex?
Well, just real quick, are we on a narrative swap? Because it's been several days now since I've heard about that dad that got sent home.
Oh, right.
Well, what happened? Story. I mean, hang on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Exactly. Lee, or Adam, go ahead.
Evidence. That's all I'm going to say is evidence.
Right.
A lot of it.
Yeah. Lee, what are your thoughts on the whole Julian Assange?
I was gonna say evidence too. I think it's just kind of like that's where it's all gonna come out. There's gonna be a lot of exposure. A lot of people, taking the hit for, whatever they've done, crimes against humanity.
Right. Exactly.
Let's see
100%.
what I'm waiting for it now to pop up next, because
I think it's coming. James, what do you think?
yeah,
That the evidence is going to speak for itself. I think they're a little frightened now that name has reached.
Well, okay. So I brought it up for a reason, right? So Julian Assange at the Pope's funeral, Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, responsible for releasing emails and documentation regarding to Seth Rich's demise, and dad that got deported was 30 minutes away from where Seth Rich met his end.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't realize that. 30 minutes away.
30 minutes away is where he lived at the time that Seth had his accident.
Come on, it's a coincidence, Alex. You know that.
Exactly. Scratch 65. Thank you for all the tiny dinies. There's Mrs. Deadpool again, 50K. I know, we've hit it. And when I said we should raise it to 75, people were screaming, no! Mom, media does that to us all the time. Look here, not there. It's very true. They don't want the left hand to know what the right hand's doing. And, there's a story, gosh, probably, I'm thinking now, 15 years ago. A friend of mine, her son was killed in Afghanistan, and she created a 501c3. She's done a lot of different things to expose what's going on. But at that time, this would have been, let me think. Yeah, I guess it was about 15, 18 years ago. Anyway, she wanted to get the story out of the things that our government had been doing. So she introduced me to, and I will leave these people, she introduced me to one of her son's friends who happened to be in military intelligence at the time. And we spent about 2 hours on the phone. And this is before I've, publicly started doing what I'm doing now. He was explaining to me this was back when, do you guys remember, guys and gals, remember the firearms being shipped to Mexico called Fast and Furious? Okay. So what he was explaining to me back then, again, this is 12, 15, 20, 18 years ago. I don't remember what year it was. But he said, Sam, that they let Fast and Furious get exposed to hide what was actually, what they were really concerned with, which was something called Easy Actor. Now, he gave me some specifics, and I won't go into those here. But they sacrificed that entire operation from exposing the Easy Actor operation that they wanted to keep under wraps. So when Mama Bear said, you know, it's a distraction, they don't want the left hand to know what the right hand is doing, I know from experience that's absolute. I mean, Alex, what are your thoughts?
Fast and Furious was happening back in 2010, and who was the president when that was happening?
Obama.
Very good. So 2010, yeah, 15 years ago. That's what I thought, something like that.
Right, and so along those lines, I have many friends who both are still here and not, that served, that legitimately their job in Afghanistan was to protect a field full of flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
Go back to the Clinton era, and there's the movie American Made, which is a pretty accurate description of how things were flying back and forth across the border when somebody was governor of Arkansas. This is not new.
Right.
This is as old as the government is. It's how they fund things. It's how they create things to get funding. Go back to Ollie North and
Contra.
Right. This is not new. This is not new. And I am optimistic and hopeful that the brass that's now in charge, and the commander-in-chief in charge and the people that he's put in place, are going to put an end to this.
Right. 100%. I agree. James, what are your thoughts?
Well, you have to think about the weapons cache that they did leave. Nothing was state of the art. It was something that superior firepower could easily rule over. So the collateral damage on the weaponry that was transferred wasn't all that powerful anyway. Even though there was guns and automatic weapons, we could take that out easily.
Right. Exactly.
If you have a line on any of those items, I want some of those phosphorus night visions. Just saying.
Exactly. Lee, what are your thoughts?
I don't. I have no thoughts on that. I apologize.
Oh, no need to apologize. We threw you into the deep end of the pool. You're doing great.
We like you here, Lee. Believe it or not, we do. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
And just so you know, I charge $1 for every unapology.
Oh, my bad. What's your cash app?
Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be Lee brings a talent to the table for sure, and we just haven't touched on her specialty yet, her forte.
Oh, believe me, that's an understatement. She is a very, very smart individual. Okay, so Dana Mackey said that's interesting. Well, interesting is an understatement, Dana Mackey. Okay, now I said that Obama makes sense. Lisa Maria said, no, just know that it's the name of the movie. Well, there's a lot going on. You're absolutely right. John Gwynn said, what about the Green Deal? Exactly. Reciprocal tariff said, I forgot several branches, limited character space. Sorry, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Maybe we can come back to that. So let's move on now. We have Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin, telling his people in the government there to shield aliens from ICE agents. Are we going to see the first arrest of a... Adam, what do you think?
I think we are, because I'll tell you right now, he's already in violation of his oath, right?
And I'm sure I'm sure Lee would say, hey, Lee, go ahead, respond.
No, I just clapped. I was like, yay.
Exactly.
because it has to be from the top, and then it's like Trump's taking care of the top, and then you have Doge coming in, and then they go down to the local grassroots of where the effery, if I can say, begins, you
Right.
know. And right now I've actually heard that Texas is supposed to have a Doge set up there locally.
Yep.
Which I think is great, because a lot of these places, such as the courthouses, such as DMVs, they need to be audited, period. And I think whenever that starts to happen, then you have to go back up and go, okay, well, who authorized this? Who allowed this to continue to go on? Because once is like, oh, okay, forgive me. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But whenever it becomes generations to where it's just raking us through the coals, you know, that's where it's like, no, you can't forgive that, because now it goes back to consent. Now it goes back to intention. Now so.
Right. 100% I
I'm
agree.
here.
100% I agree. Alex?
State Republican putting her tools out there for that very reason. You can go to datarepublican.com or org, I forget what hers is, and literally you can type in a politician's name. You can type in a not-for-profit. You can type in all the tools are there that Doge is using for us to take up the torch and carry forward. And trust me, I'll be the first one in line to watch the Kansas governor stand up for the BS that's gone on.
Right.
Right? It's like we're going to be all in the streets with lanterns and pitchforks.
Exactly.
Now we
Exactly.
just need the ogre.
I'm a little envious of Wisconsin, actually. You know, they're pointing the finger. I mean, I got Tim Walz to contend with. How'd you like to have that, Alex?
Well, it's that TJ just said, TJ just said, take Walz. Please take Walz. Exactly. Cindy Hayden, 59, said, please bring Doge to Kentucky. Well, I personally believe that trickle-down effect is going to happen in every state turning Doge. It's just my opinion. I can't bring any receipts, but it seems like logic to me.
And you guys can actually write them. There is a website. You can write them and tell them what's going on in the subject line. Put what your problem is, and then, you know, stylize your letter to them and tell them, hey, this is going on. This is going, because they want to hear from we the people.
Yeah.
Because just like it trickles down, it trickles up. And I can almost guarantee you that you can tie a city official, county official to a state official, from a state official to a congressman, from a congressman to a senator, from a senator to, I mean, it all goes up. It all goes up. The same that it rolls downhill, it rolls uphill. So absolutely. And that is the momentum that has to happen. It has to go to the people standing up to say, not in my house, not in my more.
100% I agree. Coco said, I'm here for Lee. Welcome, Coco. Glad you made it. All right, so let's move over. Wildfire fan said Pennsylvania is having Doge from our senator. I'm not sure what's going on in Pennsylvania, but thanks for the input.
So a complete list of states that are adopting a Doge-like program: Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, Wisconsin.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. And look, here's another thing. If you guys want to like check on some of these politicians, or like even your mayor, anybody down in the grassroots, sheriff, anything like that, you guys do a FOIA request. It's a Freedom of Information Act, and you can put in a request for their bonds, for their, like, you know, if you're asking for a judge, ask for their oath. I want to see their oath and I want to see their bond. The other thing is you can also contact risk management in your county, and they have to give that to them or give it to you, because all of these officials are supposed to be bonded, and most of the time they're not.
Right. Agape Rescues Children, Stacy said, I read the Doge setup in that. Can you imagine what they find in Vegas? Oh my gosh, that would be almost as big as LA.
But I would almost bet, guarantee that they are going to find a lot less corruption in the city of Las Vegas than they will in our federal government right now.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, you're probably right. Lisa Maria said, no thank walls, another huge tool. Donna Fox said, I have Murphy. Bean said, add Hochul to the list. Exactly. Mama Bear, thank you for the gifts. It's appreciated. Hey, Rich made it. Good morning, Rich. Charlotte Joe said they need it in Mississippi. Well, we need it in every state, in my opinion. It's gotten so out of control that we have to we have to accept it at the state level in every state, because every state has got fraud and abuse, in my opinion.
Sam, do you not think that they're in every state already?
I think that they probably are. I think that this started back in Trump's term, but I don't think they've released it optically yet. I think that, as we've talked about many times, you can't take a frog and drop him into a boiling pot of water. They're going to jump out or die. You have to bring the temperature up slowly. And I think that's what we're seeing with Doge. I think that's what we're seeing with the disclosure with Social Security. I think that's what we're seeing with the disclosure on the trade. I think that's what we're seeing with taxes and income tax and the abolish that. It's our, I believe most of it's on, but they're just rolling it out optically at a slower rate.
Sadly, just so you know, I'm the complainant in one, and I've got a city prosecutor and judge that have ignored a subpoena and a FOIA.
Well, that's fine. Put it on the record. It's
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
You just put it on the record, and there it is. And then I would start to send it to the other officials, like agencies, as far as like the Attorney General or the SOS, because the bottom line of that is everybody underneath them is just underneath them. But if you go back up the channel, like Alex said, then it's like never people accountable, because they're supposed to be over the lower people.
Right.
And they're not doing their duties. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Mama Bear said, I had to take up meditation and gummies to get through the slow process. Well, hang in there, Mama Bear. It's happening. It's happening. Maybe not at the rate we'd like it to, but it's happening. So the Labor Secretary warned that states could lose their federal funding if illegals get unemployment benefits. How is that even a thing? How can anybody consider illegal aliens getting some sort of unemployment benefit? Makes sense to me. Alex, what do you think?
Make it make sense, right? Like, we know why they were here, right? We know the purpose for opening the floodgates. Free medical, free education, free housing, a credit card, a cell phone, and a plane in and a bus ticket to your final destination. Like, make it make sense, right? We know why. So
It's a bought vote.
I agree.
Plain and simple, it's a bought vote with fake Social Security number.
it is, but if you understand the ethnic of the majority of the Hispanic community, those that are here and went through the process are 10 times more pissed off about it than we are.
Yeah.
For one, and for two, if you look at the family life and culture of that demographic, Catholic, very much about the family unit, very large families, and so it was doomed to fail from the get-go. Yeah, you'll get them here, but I don't think that vote is going to be bought when they start to understand the heads that are on the snake, you know?
Right. And then we get into the machine and all the other things. It's coming. It's coming. Chris, oh, sorry.
But Alex, sorry, Sam. Alex, hear me out. I hear what you're saying, but they're actually doing it correctly. They're actually doing it correctly. So when I say that, I'm saying as far as like securities and like that and free housing, we're supposed to reap those benefits too. We're just doing it wrong. We've been so indoctrinated to do it this certain way, when sometimes I wonder if the whole immigration thing was supposed to like show us that, look, you guys are supposed to be doing this too. Free housing, free food, everything's already paid for. So I kind of thought maybe it was an option for us not to hate them or be mad at them, just to kind of go, wait, how are they doing that? Let's try to figure out how we can do that too.
Interesting.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I see what you're putting down, and basically took that to use it to buy votes is what they did. They didn't know any different. But you're right, Lee.
Yeah. Chris J. Beal said, I've uncovered corruption with Senator Anthony Bucco and the Mice of New Jersey. Boy, I hear more about that. Heather IGY6, thank you for all the hearts. That's just wonderful. Thank you. Tina said, it makes me nauseated. Yeah, it does. I get it. Charlie, thank you for all the gifts. Chris J. Beal said, I had a mob boss who runs the sanitation companies in New Jersey steal my vehicle who was involved. Interesting. Boy, that's some serious stuff going on. Well, let's jump over to the next article. President Trump came out with a truth, and he said in many people's taxes will be substantially reduced, maybe even completely eliminated. Focus will be on people making less than $200,000 a year. Also, massive numbers of jobs are already being created with new plants and factories currently being built or planned. Be a bonanza for America. The External Revenue Service is happening. So there's a couple things. First, President Trump started off with no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. Then it was no tax on $150,000 or less. Now it's no tax on $200,000 or less. He also talked about factories currently being built or planned. We've talked about this many times. Alex, what's your thoughts on it?
Progress. We're going to have to be patient and watch how this all unfolds.
Exactly. But the fact that you can't have, as we talked about before, you can't have these large corporations come out and say, we're going to put $5,500 billion or this. John Gwynn, thank you for all those subscriptions. How sweet of you. That's really, really, really sweet. We can't go out and expect these corporations. They planned this years ago. We're just witnessing the optical rollout of it at this point. And I think President Trump was verifying that fact here. Lee, what do you think?
I'm going to give you guys some homework. So I want you guys to go back to Black's Law Dictionary, and I want you to look up wages and income.
Excellent. Adam, what are your thoughts?
You know, what we're going through and what we're watching with President Trump and the whole tariff and the switchover, he's taking what has been going on for 100 years plus at this point, been the way it's been run since, we'll just say 1913, since the Fed Act, switching it over to where we got the income tax and all that stuff. He's undoing over 112 years, doing it in a matter of months. I mean, the thought of that alone, to switch it back over to where we're having to feel a little bit of pain, but it's not as bad as it could have been. You could have had an atomically and it leveled, and then you don't recover for the next 50 years.
Right. James?
I mean, to see that undoing and unraveling, it's very calculated, it's very sure, and it's a softened switchover, if you will.
Right. James?
Hey, there's only one thing. You know, we've been on this subject several times, and it's been a couple times. All I'm waiting for is one thing, and President Trump to say there's going to be no capital gains on crypto. U.S. crypto.
Yeah.
He's got an executive order for no capital gains this year.
Right. It's all happening, you guys. It's just rolling out slowly. Mama Soprano said the tattoo is coming. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. And Mama Bear said we're not going to know until next year when taxes. And again, it may be a slow process than what we are hoping for, but it's coming at least as far as I can tell. Mama Bear said, laugh out loud. Sorry, Sam, learning the gift thing. I'm not sure what that means, Mama, but maybe you can put some more information in the chat. And again, John Gwynn, thank you for gifting 5 subscriptions to our people. That's just, I can't express to you how much that means to us. Thank you. All right, still on here. We have, this is a great ball on Twitter yesterday. X said, the Trump administration just approved $1.4 billion homes for Hurricane Helene victims in Western North Carolina. That is huge. And that is just huge, in my opinion. Lee, what are your thoughts?
I love it. I don't have too much to expand on it, but I do love that people are coming together, community, all the things, because we need to come back and have a level mind just a collective mindset versus division.
100%. I agree. James?
Well, it's a giant shame when you have senators and Congress people going into other countries instead of going or take care of their own people first. And it's FEMA had their shot at it. These senators had their shot at it, and now it had to come all the way down to President Trump to take action to make something of it.
Adam?
You said exactly what the same sentiment. The fact that President Trump said, fine, people are going to do it. I'm going to get it back to the people. FEMA ain't doing anything.
Right.
So we'll let you guys do it. And I guarantee you, those people are going to rebuild bigger, better, stronger, and they ain't going to need to deal with the regulation because they'll get down and fix it themselves.
Right.
So
Alex?
California needs in every other disaster-ridden area.
Alex?
I believe he's a roll up your sleeves and get to work kind of president, and there's more and more evidence every day of that fact.
But
100%.
these folks that have these positions, they have a duty to us, a fiduciary duty to perform. And if they don't, I think that's what Trump is allowing them, giving them an opportunity to perform. And if they don't, then there's going to be repercussions of it.
Got it. 100%.
I think that's how he operates. I'm going to give you just enough rope.
Yeah, exactly. Mama Bear said, I sent you a kissing puppy. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's so cool, Mama Bear. Thank you. It just cracking. I know I'm like a little kid. I see something shiny. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Thank you, Mama Bear. That's really, really cool.
Coral.
What's that?
Coral.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. That is just classic. All right. So lastly today, everybody, Spain, parts of France, and now Belgium have gone dark. What do you make of it, Alex?
It's a cyber event, whether it's planned communication upgrades. Look, it doesn't, just because something goes dark doesn't mean that it's something nefarious. We had a Cisco Next 7000 router, okay? And what a router does is when traffic comes in, it looks at the information that's coming in and says, based off of tags, so you need to go this way and you need to go way. And those routing tables, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of routes. And we had an inexperienced tech that pushed date to a Nexus router and wiped 3 million routes. That shuts down the internet. I immediately halts all traffic through that switch. So I need more information to make judgments. Could it be nefarious? Could it be governments updating? Could it be, it could be a lot of things. I think that as time goes on, we always end up finding out what really went on. When was it this last fall when we had AT&T and Verizon and all the cell phone providers having such a big issue? It was the same thing. It was some dum-dum that has probably been up for way too many hours with way too much caffeine that go update that he shouldn't have done. So
right. Dave, thoughts?
And there was no report it was yet, huh?
Right.
Very
Well,
strange.
they came out and said that there was one report that said it was an atmospheric change that caused it to happen. And then that was recanted, and now they've come. I haven't seen anything since that.
Well, when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, literally. But like, how even the United States? Why isn't our electrical and all that infrastructure up to par? You'd
Right.
think it'd be the top of the world, but apparently we're close to many third world countries here.
Yeah. Why do we have a third world grid? Exactly.
Yeah.
Lee, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a reset. I do. Just because, like, if you were to change a light bulb, you're going to your lights and then change it and then turn it back on, right? So I feel like it's system down, recalibrate everything, and then gone, and then now we're in the new system, so to speak.
Right. Adam?
I'm gonna go along with that one. I kind of remember the thing of hearing from that other board east to west, and it's gonna kind of roll direction because hey, look, it's one of over here. we don't have that answer for you as to really why it happened, but all of a sudden it's going to come back and fade into the background pretty quickly, and we'll see another blackout again somewhere else. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah,
It's
James?
definitely a reset, from my opinion.
I believe it's a dress rehearsal. They're going to do this probably all over. They did say that we're going to have periods of darkness, and I think we're starting to see that. But they're probably practicing how are we going to do this, and was this effective?
Right. I agree. Hey, Boston, thanks for all the gifts. That's really, really sweet of you. Mama Bear, have a great day. Glad you could make it. Danaki, a subscriber, said, question everything. 100% I agree. Scratch65 said, have a great day. Same to you, Scratch. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of good things happening. And it looks like we've 89,000 likes, everybody. Wow. I am blown away. So that means one thing, and Lee, since you're new to this, whenever we hit 50,000 likes, we all get up and dance and do the Trump dance. Now, I know your camera's not working, but we're going to take you on your word that you're going to do it anyway while the rest of us are doing it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Alex, let's get it fired up.
Oh, man.
I know. There we go. Hi. Good job, everybody. And I hope everybody as well. That's one of the prerequisites of being part of this show. All right. Wow.
95,000.
Wow. Incredible. Oh, we got an airplane. How cool is that? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Evelyn Opp. That was really cool. All right. So let's get to final thoughts. Lee, will you? All right, let's see. Adam, why don't you lead us off on final thoughts?
Sure. All right, we got the Sixth Amendment today. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district in the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, formed of the nature and cause of the accusation, confronted with the witness against him, to have compulsory process or obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have assistance of counsel for his defense.
Excellent. Thank you, Adam. Hey, also, I want to thank everybody. We hit early goal today. We're only less than 2,000 from 100,000 likes. Let's see if we can get there. Final thoughts.
Wow.
James, what are your final thoughts? James?
Oh, sorry, squirrel. At any rate, we went into the weekend with a lot of momentum. It was again, got a lot done, had a lot of positive things. And when you wake up on a Monday morning, 800 illegals got caught in Florida and 100 got caught in Colorado. It set the tone for me today. It was a play banjo kind of thing. And I know that we're going to continue to have this type of momentum, and it's only going to get better.
Amen. Amen. Mama Soprano said that she recorded our dance. Okay, Mama, is that you going to hold me hostage now?
We did 100,000, so
Oh.
we'll do another dance.
Oh my gosh, 100,000. That is amazing, everyone. Thank you so much. All right, Lee, final thoughts?
My final thoughts are just hold the line. Hold the line. It's here. The storm has been here for a little bit, I think. And I appreciate you guys allowing me to come up and share my thoughts with you. And yeah, absolutely. Love you guys.
You make it more often. We would love to have you back, Lee. Dave, final thoughts?
Well, Mondays were always a little drag. Now it's just a beginning of another week, and the opportunities are way, and Trump's working 20 hours out of the day. So it's exciting to see. It's going to be fun to watch.
Amen. Amen. Alex?
Well, we hit 100,000, so we're going to again after my final thoughts.
I don't think so. Nice try, though.
Oh, no, we are, and it won't be the YMCA. You'll love it.
Oh no.
Oh no. I just want to say, Leah, thank you for joining us. Your insight and your news, and I've followed you for a long time. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. I'll probably send you a private message if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's in a time and a place for everything, and I think everybody needs to just take time each day to step away from the madness and give yourself that little piece of what it means to be alive, feel the love, and just be appreciative of the fact that we even woke up this morning. How many people did?
Very well said. Very well said. Everybody, well, we hit way over our target. I'm speechless. Thank you. Over 100,000 likes. Lee, welcome. We hope you'll join us more often. Adam, James, Dave, and of course, Alex. As I always say, and I believe, the best is yet to come. So have a wonderful day. We'll see you all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And in the meantime, Alex is taking us out with some sort of a song here. Oh, there we go. I love it. Excellent job, Alex. Excellent job. Oh, yeah. Look at Dave's little background there. I love it. So true.
There's your 110.
Oh, 10,000 likes. Amazing, everyone. Absolutely amazing. All right, everybody. Well, again, join us tomorrow. Hokey Gigi, glad you gave Jeff Cohn. Thank you for all the gifts. Wendy, Old School Smooth made it. Hey, Old School. Glad you can make it. Lisa Maria, Rosie, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all